hopefully you checked out the first part of this series where I covered a large number of basics with king and pawn endgames. If you did, that's going to help you tremendously with the next parts of our series where we're actually going to take some real positions, do some problem solving, see if we can't figure these bad boys out. These positions that I'm going to be taking a look at are pulled from this absolutely excellent book. You can see my notes in there. The Chess Endgame Quiz by Larry Evans. And I just love the way this book is set up, where it gives you a problem, like the one we see in front of us. It gives you 3 options, and then you try to work it out. A, B, C. And that's what we're going to do in these videos. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So I'm going to give you 3 options here. King C2, King C3, or King A3. And what I'm going to recommend that you do, as I fix myself, is you pause your video and try to calculate this out. Try to figure out what the plan is, what you want to do, just like a real game situation. This is the critical moment. We need to find how to win the game for white right here. Extra pawn, it's an indicator. Let's make it happen. Okay, hopefully you paused your video and try to do some thinking here. Now, if you chose King C2 or King C3, wrong-o. The answer is going to be King A3. We're going to go over that bad boy last. So I first want to go over the incorrect answers to show you a number of themes in calculation that are going to pop up here. So let's first start with King C2. If King C2, black will go King A4, going after, getting closer to the pawns. Now King D2, King A3, and this is going to be a critical position in the analysis in multiple variations because anytime the white king steps on D3, the black king wants to go to B4 with the trebuchet idea, as we saw in the previous video. So when we see King D3, King B4, and now at this point, there's really no good way to handle the situation for white. I mean, he can try to jettison the pawn, but what we end up with is that trebuchet, that basic position that you need to understand. Do we go straight after the pawn, or do we approach it at an angle? When you approach it at an angle here, white needs to defend. We lock it in. He moves away, and black's in great shape. So coming back, let's now take a look at option number 2, King C3. So there we go. Now, King A4 again, logical. King B4, again, anytime the king steps on D3, we want to go to B4. Check. And there's our trebuchet idea, again, as we saw. So what makes the winner? What makes King A3 different? What are we trying to do? Well, triangulation. Because from our initial position, if it was black to move here, black would take a step back, giving us one more move of time, and we'll be able to set the trebuchet on him. Or just win the pawn outright, you know. So, King A3. We're going to love this triangulation. King B6. Now, King B2. He comes back. King B3. We got our wonderful, beautimous triangulation. Now black has to go backwards, giving us that extra juicy move we were looking for, and that's going to make all the difference here in winning this position. King C3, King A5, not King D3 because of King B4, and we're back in the no-no. So King D2. And the idea is going to be if black goes King B4, we have King D3, and he's forced away from the pawn. So you want to dance around the landmine D3 square. King A4, King E3, King B4. Now, King D3. And on King A3, we are getting to the base pawn, and it's a girl. That's going to do it for our first of many problems. I hope you like this new series. Let me know in the comments, because I'm thinking about doing more end games. You know, Variety's the spice of life after all. Get good.